Are you ready to take a moment to explore some weird vintage appliances that only baby boomers will remember? Well, get ready because we're about to dive into a world of quirky kitchen gadgets and retro marvels that'll have you saying, I totally forgot about that. So let's begin. Number 20. Serve It Hot Food Warmer. Now that you've whipped up a feast, hot dogs, beans, burgers, waffles, and a whole array of deliciousness, you face the challenge of keeping everything warm and ready to serve. That's where the Serve It Hot Food Warmer comes into play. Whether you choose to mount it discreetly under your cabinets or proudly prop it up on your counter, this kitchen gadget transforms your space into a culinary sizzler. But what exactly is a food warmer, and why was the Serve It Hot such a game changer? Well, these contraptions are like the unsung heroes of the kitchen, maintaining food temperatures above the minimum safe level of 140 degrees Fahrenheit. They go by various names: warmers, holding cabinets, hot boxes, warming drawers, you name it. And when it comes to operations dealing with predictable rush periods, like school cafeterias or bustling fast food joints, these warmers are the secret weapon. Imagine this: the lunch bell rings in a school cafeteria, or the dinner rush hits a busy burger joint. Instead of scrambling to cook each order on the spot, the Serve It Hot allows you to prepare in advance. Your delicious creations are held at the perfect temperature until it's time to serve, ensuring efficiency and minimizing the chaos during peak hours. Similar to real thermalizers, many warmers rely on heated water to provide a constant source of warmth. This innovative method allows for a constant temperature, keeping your food in top-notch condition. The beauty of food warmers lies in their ability to keep the culinary show running smoothly, especially in operations that require continuous service throughout the day. Think about it: the busy breakfast crowd, the mid-morning snackers, and the afternoon lunch rush. A food warmer ensures that your delectable offerings are always at the ready, minimizing prep time and maximizing customer satisfaction. Number 19. The Presto Hot Dogger. Cook 6 hot dogs in 60 seconds, the box proclaimed. The Presto Hot Dogger, a 1970s marvel, wasn't just about speed-heating Franks, it was a showstopper in its own right. With sharp skewers that held your wieners by the ends, this gadget wasn't satisfied with ordinary straight dogs. No, those were for squares. Picture this: Jennifer proudly showing off her hot dogger to Johnny in that unforgettable WKRP episode. Now let's talk about the sheer scariness of this contraption. Back in the 70s, this hot dog cooker was the kitchen daredevil, and we all watched with bated breath as it performed its electrifying act. Fastening the hot dogs into the cooker slots, one by one, we eagerly anticipated the grand spectacle, and boy, were we not disappointed when the big show was finally delivered. This 1970s hot dog cooker is undoubtedly a device of its time, a relic from an era before anyone had a microwave or air fryer. It did what it was supposed to do: cook those hot dogs. But what we weren't expecting was the shockingly dramatic outcome. Yes, you heard it right. The poor little dog was quite literally electrocuted. But fear not, it was thoroughly cooked. Now we can only imagine what it felt like to sink your teeth into one of those electrically charged hot dogs. Call us old-fashioned, but we'll stick to the traditional methods: boiling them in hot water or popping them into the air fryer when it's too cold to brave the outdoor grill. Number 18. Electric Knife. We all remember the electric knife, the mainstay of Thanksgiving afternoons, effortlessly slicing through a turkey and making Uncle Tom only kind of look like a goober. It's a simple yet indispensable gadget, a hero of the kitchen from yesteryear. Why does the electric knife need to make a comeback? Well, for starters, they were just really cool. I mean, come on, say it with me: electric knife. Doesn't it make you feel more alive instantly? Picture yourself slicing through anything, but mostly meat, with the precision and ease of a surgeon. It's a kitchen power move, and we can't help but miss it. And let's address the turkey situation. Tired of seeing those poor birds getting absolutely butchered by folks who struggle with a regular knife? Enter the electric knife. Just plug this baby in, and the rest is history. No more uneven, ragged slices. It's all about clean, effortless carving. So here we are, reminiscing about several awesome vintage appliances that absolutely have to make a comeback. How many of these gems did your family have when you were a kid? And hey, did we forget an awesome gadget from the 60s or 70s? Don't keep it to yourself. Drop us a comment and let us know. Number 17. Seala Meal. Now imagine this scenario. You've kept everything warm with the Serve It Hot, crafted all the hors d'oeuvres with the Super Shooter, and there are a few fondue cubes that somehow managed to escape the dipping frenzy. What's the plan for leftovers? Enter the Seala Meal, a plastic bag contraption that takes food preservation to a whole new level. While Ziplocs hit the market in the 1960s, the Seala Meal brought a different vibe to the table. It's almost as if the 60s thought, Sure, sealing bags is convenient, but let's make everything a little more interesting. Let's rewind to the 1940s, where the concept of vacuum packs for storing food took its first steps. Initially, these were the industrial sealers, compact yet revolutionary. Enter Carl Busch, a German inventor who brought home vacuum sealers into the picture in 1963. This was the dawn of a new era for food preservation. Back in 1963, the sealers were simple, with basic functionality. The concept, however, was strikingly similar to what we have today. Packs were vacuum sealed just like they are now. Fast forward to the present, and our Seala Meals have come a long way from those basic models. Today's sealers are a testament to evolution, boasting advanced features and a level of sophistication that our vintage kitchen companions could only dream of. Number 16. Popcorn Popper. Now let's talk about a kitchen hero that faced an unfortunate demise with the microwave revolution, the popcorn popper. It's true, video didn't kill the radio star, but the microwave did give a tough time to these electric popcorn wonders. With the ability to nuke a bag of Orville's in a mere 90 seconds, the microwave stole the show. However, let's take a moment to appreciate the charm and goodness of those air-popped kernels. Back at the end of the 70s and into the early 80s, these retro air popper popcorn makers were the hot new things, quite literally. What set them apart from the traditional stovetop shaking method of making popcorn? Well, these small kitchen gadgets had a game-changing approach. They popped the corn kernels with hot air instead of drowning them in oil. Not only did this make them easy to use, but it also kept the mess to a minimum. Some even had little wells to melt butter simultaneously, elevating the popcorn experience. In the 70s, this was enough to start a poppin' fad. And unlike some short-lived trends, remember the pet rock or leg warmers? This one has endured for more than 40 years. Number 15. Frigid Air Ice Box. Now, let's step back to a time when refrigerators were more than just appliances. They were marvels of innovation. Enter the 1956 Frigid Air Ice Box. And don't let me tell you, fridges used to be so much cooler, pun intended, than they are today. Imagine a whole compartment dedicated solely to butter, not neatly packed in individual packets like we're accustomed to today, but loose and free. Imagine the joy of just opening the fridge and swiping your knife without the hassle of unwrapping. And that's not all. There's a hydrator in the door designed to keep your fruits and veggies fresh. It folds out, allowing you to easily survey your produce, and can be detached for a convenient trip to the sink for easy filling after washing your fresh groceries. But wait, there's more. Shelves that roll out effortlessly, ensuring you can swiftly reach items lurking in the back of the fridge. No more fumbling around and playing hide and seek with your leftovers. Contrast this with the modern refrigerator, where some of us might be lucky to find anything beyond a light bulb and an ice system that seems more labor-intensive than the convenience of our contemporary counterparts. If, by any chance, someone out there knows where to find one of these vintage Frigid Air ice boxes, please do share the secret. Number 14. Mangle. Let's take a trip back in time and look at an intriguing relic from the laundry rooms of the past, the mangle, or as our British friends call it, the wringer. This mechanical laundry aid was a two-roller wonder, housed in a sturdy frame and connected by cogs. In its early days, it was powered by a hand crank, later evolving to the convenience of electricity. The primary function of this appliance was to extract water from wet laundry. Picture it. A roller mechanism on top, aptly named the wringer, comprised two rolls of wood or hard rubber. As it squeezed out excess water, it also imprinted random creases into clothes, earning it the alternative name of the mangle. Now, notice that pressure-adjusting lever or screw handle at the top? If you've ever handled vintage washable clothing, you might have come across a fair share of broken buttons on shirts and blouses. Blame the mangle. It wasn't exactly friendly to delicate materials like glass or mother-of-pearl buttons, and let's not forget the potential hazard it posed to fingers, hair, and the fashion-forward housewives donning dresses with long ties, scarves, or ribbons at the neck. Before the era of spin dryers, which made their appearance around the 1950s, virtually every household except the very poorest boasted a mangle. It played a crucial role on wash days, efficiently removing the majority of water from clothes and sheets after each rinse. Constructed from robust cast iron, mangles were hefty and were not the easiest to move around. The screw on the top allowed for adjusting the distance between the rollers based on the fabric's thickness. For items like blankets, the screw was let out as far as possible. The legs, equipped with wheels, could be clamped when the mangle was in action. On a sunny wash day, this apparatus could be set up outdoors. However, in less favorable weather, it had to be wheeled indoors. After each rinse, every single piece of laundry underwent the mangle treatment. Each item was individually placed between the rollers, and as the handle turned, the rollers worked their magic, feeding the item through and letting the water drop into a waiting bowl or tin bath below. Imagine the labor involved, turning the handle repeatedly, rinsing items multiple times, and feeding them through the rollers again and again. Number 13. Toaster. In the early 20th century, as homes began to embrace electricity, the race was on to create small household appliances that could fit conveniently on kitchen counters. But there was a challenge, finding a wire that could conduct heat without burning up quickly. General Electric tackled this obstacle in 1909, birthing the first commercially successful toaster in the United States. However, the toaster's triumph debut was somewhat overshadowed by the outbreak of World War I, which diverted assembly lines towards military needs rather than household luxuries. But post-war, with more homes wired for electricity, the toaster's popularity surged. As historian Miller points out, having an electric toaster doesn't do you any good unless you have electricity in the home. Yet, another hurdle emerged: how to prevent toast from burning without constant monitoring. Early models required users to manually remove and reinsert the bread, but innovators sought a more convenient solution. Enter the Waters Genter Company in 1925, introducing the Model 1A1 Toastmaster. This pioneering appliance boasted automatic pop-up functionality, browning bread on both sides simultaneously, setting heating elements on a timer, and gracefully ejecting toast when done. It was a game-changer in kitchen convenience. Despite attempts to integrate toasters into multifunctional breakfast appliances, such as coffee brewers, the basic pop-up toaster remained a staple. Once you've kind of got the mechanism down, how do you differentiate yourself in the market? That's where design comes in, notes Miller. From streamlined designs in the 1930s to the colorful pattern toasters of the 1970s, manufacturers continually experimented with aesthetics to capture consumer interest. As Miller elaborates, in the late 1950s into the 1960s, they started to take on a more linear, modern form. Colors were popular in those decades, too: red, yellow, cyan, and the Toaster Museum collection includes examples of toasters with patterns. We even have a 1970s hippie print toaster. Indeed, through the ages, the toaster evolved not only in functionality but also in style. Number 12. Food processors. In the world of culinary innovations, the food processor stands as a testament to the marriage of convenience and creativity. Multiple inventors can lay claim to being the brainchild behind this indispensable kitchen tool, with its roots intertwined with the technology of the already popular food blender of the 1930s. One pivotal figure in the food processor's origin story is Pierre Verdun, a French catering services salesman who in the late 1950s envisioned a more efficient way for food professionals to prepare ingredients. Observing the labor-intensive tasks of slicing, chopping, and grating, Verdun saw an opportunity to automate these processes. By 1963, he had crafted a prototype that featured a motorized revolving blade in a bowl, complete with a tube for inserting food items. This all-in-one unit, known as the robot coupe, marked the initial foray into the world of food processors, targeting the catering trade. Simultaneously, in the United States, an industrial designer named Albrecht von Goertz, famed for his sports car designs, crafted a food processor for the German firm Electrostar. While Verdun prioritized utility, Goertz, often dubbed the 007 of design, leaned towards aesthetics, creating visually striking designs like the legendary StarMix MX3. While the food processors made appearances in the UK, France, and Germany throughout the 1960s, the true turning point came in the early 1970s when Carl Sontheimer, an American engineer with French roots, introduced the Magimix. Establishing the company Cuisinart in 1973, Sontheimer's kitchen marvel quickly gained traction, eventually conquering the U.S. market. As you navigate your holiday meal preparations, slicing and dicing with the assistance of a food processor, take a moment to appreciate the thoughtful inventors who lighten the load of kitchen chores. Their vision and ingenuity have not only made cooking more efficient, but have also turned the food processor into an indispensable companion for home chefs worldwide. So here's to the culinary revolution unveiled by the robot coupe, StarMix MX3, Magimix, and the many inventors who made our kitchen endeavors a bit easier. Number 11. Microwave. In the culinary landscape, few inventions have revolutionized the way we cook like the microwave oven. Its journey from accidental discovery to a kitchen essential is a tale that spans decades and technological evolution. The microwave's origin could be traced back to the 1940s, when engineer Percy Spencer stumbled upon the concept while working for the Raytheon Corporation. The initial microwaves were colossal, weighing 340 kilograms and standing at a towering 1.8 meters, resembling modern American-style fridge freezers rather than the compact, integrated models we're familiar with today. Priced at $4,200 to $4,500, they were more of a novelty than a household staple. It wasn't until the 1960s that microwaves began to gain traction as prices started to drop. In 1970, the U.S. saw 40,000 microwave ovens sold, and that number skyrocketed to 1 million by 1975, according to Panasonic Research. In the UK, the 1970s microwave boom was fueled by the rise of ready-made meals, with 56% of the population still relying on microwaves for quick heating. By the late 1960s, home units started hitting the market, and countertop microwaves, priced under $500, became accessible to the general public. Initially dominated by defense manufacturers with magnetron expertise, the market soon saw a surge in Japanese imports, offering affordable microwaves in various styles. Percy Spencer's contribution didn't end with the invention. He held 150 patents at the time of his death in 1970, and his legacy was further immortalized with a Distinguished Service Medal from the U.S. Navy and induction into the Inventors Hall of Fame in 1999. Today, the microwave is an omnipresent fixture in kitchens worldwide, with over 200 million units in use. Beyond culinary applications, microwaves have found utility in various commercial settings, such as drying wood for the construction industry. Number 10. Frigid Air Flare Oven. A true icon of futuristic kitchen design, the Frigid Air Flare oven stands out as a true iconic of futuristic kitchen design. Let's take a nostalgic look at the features that made this oven a standout, both in functionality and style. Imagine a time when cooking involved neither back-crunching maneuvers nor hidden casserole bins. Enter the Frigid Air Flare, a kitchen marvel from yesteryears. This oven boasted 2 counter-height ovens, alleviating the ergonomic struggles of reaching into deep recesses for your culinary creations. Yet its pièce de résistance was undoubtedly the 4 stove burners that elegantly pulled out like a cabinet, cleverly concealing themselves when not in use. Functional and aesthetically pleasing, the Flare had its moments in the limelight on the classic 60s show Bewitched. In the whimsical world of Samantha the Witch, even magical powers didn't exempt her from the societal expectations of spending time hunched over an oven. The Flare, with its futuristic charm, added a touch of glamour to the mundane act of cooking. The stove's unique design featured a stovetop that slid in and out like a drawer, with eye-level ovens and retractable doors that gave it an unmistakable futuristic aura. However, as the 1970s ushered in more efficient stoves, the Flare oven gradually became a relic of the past, overshadowed by the progress of kitchen technology. Just like its vintage counterparts, such as the countertop dishwasher and the Presto Hot Dogger, the Flare oven faced obsolescence with the advent of more modern kitchen appliances. The convenience of under-the-counter dishwashers and the speed of the microwave relegated these once revolutionary devices to the annals of culinary history. Number 9. Trash compactors. Let's talk about chores. And if you had to pick the most annoying one, taking out the trash would likely top the list. It's not just about the time it consumes, it's the whole package. Stinky, outdoors, far away, hot, muggy, and the unwanted company of bugs. But fear not, because in the early 1970s, a revolutionary solution emerged, the household trash compactor. This vintage marvel not only made life easier back then, but still deserves a nod of appreciation today. So what's the deal with trash compactors? Well, it's precisely what it sounds like, an appliance designed to wield over 2,000 pounds of force to compress your trash, reducing its volume by up to 4 times. Imagine the joy of taking out a significantly smaller, less odorous bag of garbage. The sheer brilliance of this vintage invention not only made life more convenient, but also helped maintain a cleaner, more organized kitchen. While modern kitchens still have their versions of trash compactors, they aren't as ubiquitous as today. The decline in their prevalence might be attributed to the growing emphasis on recycling and composting. However, let's take a moment to appreciate the nostalgia of a time when the prospect of taking out the trash 4 times less frequently was a genuinely appealing proposition. Number 8. Auto Beer Bar. Alright, picture this. You're stuck on the interstate for what feels like an eternity, boredom settling in, annoyance rising, and to top it all off, an insatiable thirst. Now, wouldn't life be grand if you could just reach out, tap into your dashboard, and pour yourself a refreshing ice-cold beer? Well, according to the almost certainly fictional Bach Auto Beer Company, that dream could have been a reality back in the day. They pitched the idea of installing a beer bar right alongside your radio, because why not, right? Bach proposed an end to parched throats on those dusty roads, and honestly, who wouldn't appreciate a mobile beer tap during a seemingly endless traffic jam? But hold on, Before you start envisioning yourself as a highway bartender, let's make one thing clear. This ad was most likely a joke. We're all for a good time, but here's a friendly reminder: never drink and drive. The ad touted this auto beer bar as invaluable in traffic jams or on Sundays. Forget about those clever thermoses keeping your coffee hot. This add-on appliance would have put your favorite beer on tap right next to your radio. While the idea might seem cool for a picnic or a drive-in movie, it's a recipe for disaster, not to mention completely illegal and dangerous. Just about anywhere else, especially in the middle of a weekday traffic snarl. Number 7. Tbar. The good old days when TVs were not just electronic marvels, but also pieces of furniture. Remember those massive pre-1980s TVs? They were more than just a screen. They often doubled as functional furniture, equipped with radios, record players, and various other conveniences. Now let's talk about the Admiral Tbar, the zenith of console TV sophistication. It wasn't just a TV, it was a complete entertainment package. Picture this: open every cabinet, and voila! You'll discover a fully stocked wet bar inside, complete with dedicated spaces for your liquor collection and glassware. It wasn't merely a television, it was the ultimate hostess entertainment system. From the outside, it appeared to be a modest dining room cabinet. However, once those doors swung open, you had everything required for a party neatly tucked away in one spot. Imagine a bar cart, a stereo, and a TV console seamlessly rolled into a single tidy package. The Admiral Tbar was a party waiting to happen, all conveniently disguised as a piece of furniture. It embodied the spirit of entertainment innovation, offering more than just moving pictures on a screen. It provided an entire experience, transforming your living room into the go-to spot for social gatherings. Nowadays, our sleek, flat-screen TVs might be more efficient, but they lack the charm and multifunctionality of these vintage entertainment hubs. Number 6. Thor Automatic Washer. Let's take a trip back to the fabulous 40s, where the Thor automatic washer reigned supreme in the world of clothes washing. With advertisements boasting about its agitator action and overflow rinsing, it quickly became the talk of the town. But what propels it onto our list isn't just its status as the best washer of its time, it's the ingenious add-on that makes it a true vintage marvel: the Thor Automatic Dishwashing Unit. Yes, you heard it right, a washer that could seamlessly transition into a dishwasher. Now this is a vintage appliance that was truly ahead of its time. Picture this: after washing your clothes, you could conveniently load up your dirty dishes into the same machine. Talk about efficiency. We've all faced the dilemma of a broken washing machine and looked at the dishwasher thinking, they basically do the same thing, right? The Thor Automatic Dishwashing Unit took this idea to the next level. It might not be the same as tossing your socks into the dishwasher, but it's pretty close. Instead of cluttering up their homes with separate appliances, savvy homeowners of the 40s opted for a two-in-one solution. Why have a clunky washing machine taking up space when you could have an appliance that effortlessly handled both clothing and dinner wear? Load up your gingham dresses and pleated slacks for one cycle and your dinner plates and wine glasses for the next. It's like magic. In an era where space-saving solutions became increasingly essential, the Thor Automatic Washer and Dishwashing Unit combo emerged as a stroke of genius. Now, as we navigate the 21st century, perhaps it's time for someone to revive this dual-purpose marvel for modern times. Who wouldn't want a washer that pulls double duty as a dishwasher? It's a vintage gem that proves innovation is timeless. Number 5. Hobie Flame Gun. Let's be honest, shoveling snow is nobody's idea of a good time. It's a chilly, wet, and downright back-breaking chore that can stretch for months, depending on where you live. But fear not, because back in the day, people found an unconventional and, let's say, fiery solution to bid farewell to this winter woe. Enter the Hobie Flame Gun, the vintage appliance that promised to banish snow shoveling blues forever. Forget about snowblowers. The Hobie Flame Gun takes a more flamboyant approach. Picture a handheld flamethrower that unleashes a torrent of fire onto that stubborn snow, turning it into a puddle faster than Frosty in a greenhouse. An old advertisement for this fiery contraption boldly claims, less than 2 pints of kerosene gives over 30 minutes of continuous use. A statement that might raise an eyebrow or two, especially when followed by the reassuring words, completely safe. It's a mix of terror and temptation that somehow makes you want one for next Christmas, just for the spectacle. Imagine the scene. Last night's snowstorm left your sidewalk buried, and you're contemplating the daunting task of shoveling. But wait, why not opt for the more audacious route? Grab your Hobie Flame Gun and set fire to the snow-covered path, and watch it all melt away. It's a solution that's as bold as it is unconventional, and who wouldn't want to trade a shovel for a flamethrower, especially if it's labeled completely safe? Number 4. Electric can opener. Let's talk about the unsung hero of every busy kitchen, the electric can opener. If you're juggling a hectic family schedule or dealing with arthritis, this gadget is a true game changer. And let's not forget its nifty knife sharpener, adding even more utility to its repertoire. But here's the kicker. Modern electric can openers have evolved into sleek, compact designs that won't hog your precious counter space. The story of the electric can opener traces back to 1931, when it was first patented, following the design of the rotating wheel can opener. Back then, these openers boasted the impressive ability to remove lids from over 20 cans per minute without risking injury. However, they failed to gain significant traction in the market. Fast forward to 1956, when two American companies took another crack at it. Klassen Enterprises introduced a wall-mounted electric model, but its complex design failed to impress. Meanwhile, Walter Hess Bodel had a light bulb moment and invented a freestanding device that combined an electric can opener with a knife sharpener. With his family's help, they built a prototype in their garage, complete with a stylish body design crafted by his daughter Elizabeth. Manufactured under the Unico brand, these openers hit the market just in time for Christmas sales and became an instant hit, available in trendy colors like flamingo pink, avocado green, and aqua blue. Now let's shift gears to other vintage appliances that once graced our kitchen with their unique charm. GE refrigerators, with their distinctive design and array of colors, were a stylish addition to any kitchen. However, as the demand for more spacious and efficient refrigerators grew, the GE's compact design became less common and eventually phased out. Then there's the Tbar, a fascinating fusion of a bar, television, and radio. While it may have been a novelty of its time, the Tbar faded into obscurity with the rise of larger home bars and the introduction of mini fridges. Number 3. Fridge hybrid. Ever find yourself staring at your fridge, longing for it to be more than just a cold storage box? Well, say hello to the Fridge Hybrid, a vintage appliance that was a kitchen revolution in its own right. Picture this, a half-size refrigerator equipped with 3 gas burners and a sink, transforming your fridge into a culinary hub where you can cook, clean, grab ingredients, and stash leftovers without taking a single step. Now, why should this ingenious contraption be consigned to the annals of history? Imagine the modern possibilities. A dorm room with cooking capabilities, or a tiny studio apartment in the heart of New York City. Whoever resurrects this gem is poised for a game-changing success. Picture yourself effortlessly stirring a pot of simmering spaghetti sauce with one hand while rinsing dirty pots with the other, all within the confines of this compact 3-in-1 appliance. Yes, it may look like a whimsical mashup, but let's be honest. This would be the ultimate space saver in a bustling studio apartment. If IKEA had been around during the heyday of the Fridge Hybrid, you can bet they'd be selling this small-scale, all-in-one kitchen to apartment dwellers everywhere. Number 2. Personal computer, or PC. At the pinnacle of our list, we have a game-changer, a disruptor that reshaped the very fabric of our daily lives, the personal computer, or PC. Before the late 1970s, computers were mammoth, immobile, and astronomically expensive, reserved for the privileged few in wealthy businesses and institutions. Enter IBM's groundbreaking Model 5150 in 1981, and the entire landscape of computing shifted. This sleek machine brought computing power directly into the homes of everyday people, forever altering the way we work, play, and communicate. The genesis of the personal computer can be traced back to the microcomputer revolution of the 1970s. Unlike mainframe computers or time-sharing systems, personal computers were designed for individual interactive use. With the advent of the microprocessor, the cost of personal computers plummeted, making them accessible consumer goods. Initially, these microcomputers were sold in electric kit form, appealing primarily to hobbyists and technicians. The term personal computer started gaining traction in the early 60s. In a 1962 New York Times article, John W. Mauchly envisioned a future where the average person could master a personal computer. By 1968, Hewlett-Packard took a bold step by advertising their powerful computing genie as the new Hewlett-Packard 9100A personal computer. Although the advertisement was initially considered too extreme, it marked a significant moment in the popularization of the term. Over the next few years, Byte Magazine and Creative Computing embraced the term personal computer, defining it as a non-time-shared system with sufficient processing power and storage capabilities for the individual user. The watershed moment came in 1977, heralded by the arrival of 3 pre-assembled small computers. The 1977 Trinity, the Apple II, and PET 2001 were proudly marketed as personal computers, while the TRS-80 was positioned as a microcomputer for household tasks, including personal financial management. By 1979, the personal computer had firmly established itself. Over 500,000 microcomputers were sold, and a new concept of the personal computer had taken root in the minds of the youth. The era of personal computing had dawned, setting the stage for a digital revolution that would redefine our relationship with technology. Number 1. Jukebox. Let's take a look back at time when music wasn't just streamed. It was an experience, a form of touch, and the heartbeat of social gatherings. In the heyday of the 1940s through the mid-1960s, the jukebox reigned supreme as the maestro of melodies, casting a spell on the hearts of music lovers across the nation. The classic jukebox, with its buttons adorned with letters and numbers, was a marvel of its time. It stood as a partially automated, coin-operated shrine to the magic of music. Selecting a song wasn't a click or a tap, but a physical engagement, pushing the buttons to cue up a favorite record. The thrill of flipping through the song titles, seeking the perfect tune, created an anticipation that no playlist could replicate. As the jukebox industry hit its zenith in the 1950s, it became a cultural phenomenon. 3/4 of the records produced in America found their way into these musical treasure chests. Names like Beatles, Rolling Stones, Monkees, and Elvis resonated through the neon-lit rooms where jukeboxes held court. They weren't just machines, they were the keepers of dreams, the architects of memories. The ritual of selecting a song from the jukebox was an art. For rock fans, it might be the rebellious chords of Satisfaction, while a romantic evening could unfold to the soothing tunes of If by David Gates and Bread. But heaven forbid a misplaced button press. Accidentally queuing up Color My World by Chicago in the midst of a guy's night out could lead to good-natured ribbing. The magic wasn't just in the music, it was in the process. The record puller outer, with a practiced eye, would scan the array of 45s, extracting the chosen one with precision, placing it gently on the turntable. The arm would gracefully swing over, the needle would descend, and the room would come alive with sound. Watching the label spin on the turntable was a hypnotic dance. Roulette twirled as Tommy James sang Crimson and Clover, and Columbia whirled when Johnny Cash poured out Folsom Prison Blues. The jukebox wasn't just an auditory delight, it was a visual spectacle. Lights of red, green, yellow, blue, and orange transformed the room into a kaleidoscope of sight and sound, creating an ambiance that couldn't be replicated. Yet, like all good things, the era of the jukebox saw its twilight. The transistor, the harbinger of portable radios, marked the beginning of the end for these musical behemoths. As technology advanced, jukeboxes became scarcer. What was once a ubiquitous presence, the musical heartbeat of diners and bars, slowly faded away. Quarter by quarter, unknowingly, we fed a dinosaur that was becoming extinct. While modern music delivery methods may offer pristine sound quality and an endless library, something intangible was lost when the jukebox took a back seat. The jukebox wasn't just a music player, it was an experience, a tangible connection to the soul of the music. The magic of watching the label spin, the physical act of selecting a song, and the communal joy of a shared playlist created memories that resonate long after the last notes fade away. The jukebox era may be gone, but its echoes linger in the hearts of those who reveled in its magic. That's it for our journey through 20 weird vintage appliances. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and share your favorite vintage kitchen gadget in the comments below. And hey, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more blasts from the past. We'll see you later.